Hello, this is Paramjeet Singh. Thank you very much for stopping by once again. So, recently I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and we started talking about the value and the idea of self development. And the discussion kept on going for a very long period of time, sometime in cycles, to, to think about what is the best way to start, what is the most wholesome way to start the journey of self development. And then we came back to asking the very basic, mundane question: what is self, and what do you want to develop? And how do you go about developing the self, which you may have some idea or you may not have any idea about? But the conversation kept on going and we kept on talking about it. But then through the process, we came to one shared understanding that if we want to pursue a very wholesome, promising self development, we have to ask a very basic question about who you are as a person. Because unless you know what you're trying to develop, you would most likely not able to invest in a smart way. So whatever journey you undertake to develop yourself, whichever way you perceive yourself, is going to be heavily influenced by that knowledge. So before we get into this journey of self development, the very basic question we need to ask: what kind of self I am in at the moment? And how do I go about developing it in a wholesome way? Because I have seen people struggling to develop themselves, at the same time steadfastly resisting and unwilling to accept the self they are currently in. So for example, if you want to develop yourself at a physical level, then before you can develop something, you have to acknowledge and accept the reality of your physical container at this moment. Similarly, if you want to develop your mental structure, mental function, you have to accept and acknowledge the quality and the function of your mind at this moment, whatsoever undesirable those functions and qualities are. Similarly, if you want to develop about spiritually, you have to go about in the same process, because unless we acknowledge where we are, we can't get anywhere. And sometimes I have seen people going around in circles trying to improve without acknowledging the reality of their moment. I've seen that in my classes in university, students struggling to be better at the same time not taking the courage to accept what is happening with them at the moment. I see that program outside in the corporates, when you ask people that before you get somewhere, you have to somehow come to acknowledge whatever is happening with you at this moment. And whatever could be irritating, frustrating, your mind could be agitated, it could be disappointed, it could be depressed, it could be sad. But unless you acknowledge the reality at the baseline of that function and knowledge, it will be incredibly difficult for anybody to actually move forward. The first step of self development, before you take the actual journey of self development, is to pause, ponder, and reflect and acknowledge where you are. Where are you at this moment in the terms of your physical structure, physical body? Where are you in this moment in the terms of your mental functions, mental qualities, and mental dysfunctions? And where are you in this point of time about spiritual, whatever you think about spirituality? Because this is the most nebulous area for self development, because spirituality means different thing to different people. That the farther subtler it gets, difficult it becomes. And it requires actually much harder guardrails for you to, because it's easier to get lost in that mapless map of spirituality. That's why you have so many opinions and ideas how to go about that. But again, regardless of the number of opinions and the diversity of the opinions and the nature of advice you get from various peoples, the bottom line always is, where are you at the moment? And if you can take the courage to acknowledge that point, whatsoever undesirable that is, you have a higher probability of developing yourself in the direction of wholesomeness. So before you get on this idea of self development, take a moment to check in with yourself where you stand, and then find a way to move forward from there. Because in order to develop yourself, you have to have some basic idea about who you are and who yourself is at the moment. Even if that understanding of self is half baked or dysfunctional or non functional, you will still have to start from somewhere. Otherwise, you will be swimming in circles. You will put the cart before the horse, and you may even end up barking up the wrong tree. So that's it for now, for today. If you find this conversation useful, kindly subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to press the bell icon. That will help us deliver you the notification when we upload a new video. If you have an experience to share, don't forget to leave your comments. I would appreciate your presence. In the meantime, continue to stay curious and reasonably non judgmental. Thank you very much. I will see you next time. Bye bye for now.
Please subscribe to the channel, like and share. Thank you.